Well, first off, I want to say hello. If you guys don't know, my name is Sharpino. I also go by Chris or Sharpie, whatever you want to call me. Um, we have a lot to talk about as far as this Pokemon community goes. Um, where do I start? Well, first off, they came out a couple, or now about 4 or 5 days ago, that Nathan slash Decatur was revealed to have been asking underage girls for nudes, which is clear in itself pedophilic. And fuck you, Nathan, because seriously, dude, like, you had a lot of good people around you. Well, some good people. We'll get to that. Um, you had some people who were around you who wanted to help you out, and you wanted to get somewhere, and you do this shit, and you pretty much fuck yourself over in the process, and then you drag your friends with you when they try to defend you and try to help you, and that is just a very fucked up situation, to say it itself. To AttackOnSylveon, thank you very much for making those videos talking about these allegations. You're very brave for doing this. I think most of us in the Pokemon community can say that we have your back, we have your support, and whatever you need to do to get through this, just do you, is all I can say. And when you say that you don't want to drop names, which is why I'm glad you did in part 2. In part 1 you didn't want to, but in part 2 you eventually did. Well, at least 3 people apparently were doing this to you, but the main one you said was Decatur, who apparently threatened you with your nudes that you gave him, to say that if you don't do what I say, I'm going to go after your family, go after this. That's just mentally, that can drive someone insane. So thank you very much for doing what you did. If you guys haven't seen the videos, I'll leave a link for a description down below for the video, so you can go ahead and, I guess, watch yourself. It's very difficult to watch, I will admit. I watched through all of it, and I'm telling you guys, it was hard. It was hard going through it because, to have someone go through such mental abuse, mental anguish, and I guess such self-loathing because she blames herself. First off, let me say this, AttackOnSylveon, that you are a victim in this. You had nothing to do with this. And I say this to any person, I mean, whether it's a guy asking for a younger girl for nudes or a older woman asking for a younger guy nudes, guys, gender doesn't matter. It's fucked up either way either way you look at it, whichever gender it is. Okay? Pedophilia, pornography, all that shit, having child pedophile, it's just fucked. There is no defense for that in any shape or form. But I will say this though, if you do not want your nudes to be out there, or you don't want any inappropriate photos of yourself being out on the internet, don't pose for the photo. That's all I can say. I mean, a lot of people are younger, I get that, they make stupid decisions. I mean, I've been young once, I've made stupid decisions, I understand where she's coming from, but in the same note, you did nothing wrong, okay? This guy was older than you, he was the adult, he should know better. Most adults would know better, you would think, but in this situation, no. He fucked up, big time. And if you want any further proof of his guilt, he's gone off the internet. His Instagram's gone, his Twitter's gone, his YouTube channel's gone. That is proof. That is concrete 100% proof that he's guilty, because if he wasn't, he'd try to defend himself. He'd try to give evidence to suggest that what he did either wasn't pedophiliac in any way, or that what you're saying is wrong. And guess what? He hasn't done that. He's just taken the blacklist notion, which is he's pretty much taken himself off the internet because people can't harass him. So that's, kind of fucked up. And I say this on Twitter, I said this to anyone, that if you're going through any abuse of any kind, please just talk to someone. Because struggling by yourself will get you nowhere, except, it can fuck with your head. I've known people who they've killed themselves through this sort of bullshit, and it's not funny or in any sense of the word. You should talk to someone about it. Even if you feel like it's wrong, that should tell you it's wrong. Even if you have the slightest, that 1% of it being wrong, that is the reason why it's wrong. Because if it was 100% okay, you wouldn't feel that way, So there's that situation. So again, Decatur, from everyone in the Pokemon community and everyone on the internet and pretty much everyone else in general, fuck you and pedophiles. Next, on the Pokemon community debacles is this love triangle going between Twit, Kristen, and I'll keep Mama, Vegas, Jamie, I guess you could say. You know, I'm not going to really touch that because that's really between those three. I mean, it doesn't really involve everyone else. I mean, there's just a lot of back and forth. Kristen saying Twit did this because if you guys don't know, Cuddle of Death and Hi I'm Twit, they were once a couple. And Kristen's claims anyway, Twit says they only dated a couple of times. So I don't know. That's a he said, she said situation. And then Twit made some allegations against Kristen that said that she was a thief. So I don't know. But yeah, so I'm just going to leave that situation alone because that really is not a community-based thing. It's more of a between couple thing. So I'm going to leave that one alone because that's not really for me to talk about. Now, the major one, and I know you guys have clicked on this video for this major reason. And it really hurts me to do this part because there's that much that could be said about this person. And that is the TheKingNappy. Now, I'm sad to do this because I've been following the TheKingNappy for a very long time, even before I became a YouTuber. And he was one of the main reasons why I started YouTubing because I watched how he, does his YouTube content, and he's definitely entertaining. And there's just so much going for him that hey, it's like, well, why wouldn't I want that as well? But the allegations that have been made against him and some of the things that he has said. Now, he did make a Twitch video explaining his side of it, but I only caught a glimpse of it. And before I could even clip it or whatever, he got rid of the video. So that to me is weird because if it was true what you said, and if what you said was legitimate and it would defend you, you would keep it up. So why would you get rid of it right after you discussed what was going on? Unless you didn't want people to look into it and analyze what you said and try to point out, I would say, contradictions. But I have no idea what's going on with that. I'm just leaving that one. But a couple things about the TheKingNappy. First off, he's bisexual. I didn't know this until he brought it up, and I mean, not that that's a different. I look at him differently because he's bisexual. I mean, hey, if you're gay or whatever, that's all you. I'm just whatever, because I have friends who are homosexual, and I mean, that part of their life doesn't change how I look at them, So being gay, straight, bisexual, that has nothing to do with how I interact with you. So that's all good. The fact he had to get out in this way, yeah, it was kind of weird, but it was because of this allegation that it got brought up, and that is that Hoodlum Scrafty, if you guys don't know Hoodlum Scrafty, Callum, or if some guys might know, then we have Game Boy Luke. Apparently, both of them have given accounts that they have both been pressured into being dated by TheKingNappy. Now, if you look at their Twitters, they discuss everything that's been said, but I'll leave a few screenshots up for you guys to look over. But basically, Callum, he put up a giant tweet along saying that he was working with Nappy back in 2013. And if you guys remember, back in 2013, Hoodlum Scrafty and TheKingNappy were doing a lot of collaborations together at that time. And then I think that was the last time they ever worked together on a project. So if you look at this when Callum discusses this was back in 2013, and then look at the last project they worked together, the timeline kind of fits for that particular part of it. But anyways, Callum was saying, that TheKingNappy was saying that he has feelings towards him, and that we can't be friends, so we're either going to be dating or nothing. Which in itself is it's a pretty fucking bullshit call. Like, you don't do that to someone. You don't pressure someone to say, well, I got feelings for you and we can't be friends because of that, so you're either going to be with me or not at all. And it's like, dude, look, I know guys do this all the time. I mean, guys do this to girls a lot, Some girls do it to guys, but I would say mostly guys do tend to do this to girls quite a bit, where it's just like they'll play that card. It's like, well, I have feelings for you, and, I won't be with you unless you're actually with me. Like, it's a bullshit thing. I personally wouldn't do that to someone. Like, that's just, in itself, it's just a bad thing to do, And then we had Game Boy Luke, who pretty much says the exact same thing, but in a different time period. And what I find, okay, this is a quote from Game Boy Luke. He says that Nappy says, "Why does everything have to be black and white? Why can't you see everything in full color?" Really, dude? Did you really say that? Because that sounds messed up in itself. That's basically saying that, because I mean, I know Luke's straight, unless I'm mistaken, but I mean, he was dating a girl at some point. So unless he's bisexual as well, I mean, I don't know. But to say like, it's okay to be bisexual, okay. If you're trying to convince someone to be bisexual, that's pretty fucked up. Because if he is straight, fair enough. But I mean, unless he was bisexual and he knew, then I guess that's okay. But that doesn't matter. But again, he pulled the same treatment on Game Boy Luke as he did on Hoodlum Scratchy / Callum, and pretty much blocked them both. Well, basically, he wouldn't hang out with them. They wouldn't do collaboration together. And mind you guys, Luke and Nappy, or Kyle, as his name is, Kyle, they were together. They've done a lot of collaborations together for years and years and years and years and years. Like they've done, verses together. They've even come to each other's houses to do Let's Plays together. They did Mystery Dungeon. They did Pokemon Stadium. So they spent a lot of time together. And then you find out this happens, like, and it's like, ugh. Like, you just feel awkward, because it's like, did he really do that? But apparently there's evidence from, Patters, who left pretty much big, receipts of basically, Nappy actually pressuring people into trying to date him, or, that's it, So it's kind of a bad situation to be in. And then we've got finally falling out friendships. And this is talking more so towards both Mo and Nexus. Nexus was full on calling out Nappy on Twitter, saying that he was lying, and Mo made a response to all the things with TheKingNappy. And when Mo describes it, he was saying things like, that Nappy was controlling. He tried to get you to convince you to think the way he does. And there was even a situation where Mo said he was trying to make amends with someone he was having beef with, and instead of putting it to bed and trying to quash the beef like most people would, apparently Nappy told him to, no, keep the fight on, like, because I don't like them, you shouldn't like them. Which, it's pretty scummy of you to do that, because I mean, your interaction with them shouldn't have any interaction with them, right? Like, if I'm having a fight with someone else and my friend wants to be friends with them, that's their choice. It's not my choice to say, well, if you're my friend and I don't like him, you shouldn't like them either. Like, it's a pretty crappy move to be on. I mean, it's pretty fucked up. Let's just cut straight to it. And TheKingNappy talking about the Decatur situation and claiming that they didn't know what was going on. I think that's bullshit. I think they all, at one point, they knew about at least one incident. They must have known at least one incident. I mean, JYT Gamer pretty much confirms that he did know about at least one incident. I'm not saying that they knew about every single incident, but they all knew about at least one incident. And I mean, Jay, I can definitely see from your side of it that, you're trying to help out your friends, say, look, you gotta stop that pedo shit, But just one thing, I know you apologize for it, and look, I can look past it for you, because I know you're genuinely a nice guy. Everyone in the community knows you're a nice guy, Jay, and you guys said, look, we could have handled it better. I get that. But let me put it to you this way. If someone is doing that, unless they're going to be really drilled on it, they're not going to stop. Like, okay, I'll give you an example. It's like someone who hits people, for example. Not saying it's the same thing, but someone who hits people. That if a guy hits a girl and, everyone's like, oh, you shouldn't hit girls, and he's like, yeah, no worries. Then he goes out and he hits another girl, and it's like, dude, we just said don't do that, But it's like, but they've already done it once, so once a beta, always a beta, or in this case, once a pedo, always a pedo. Now, I'm not saying that people can't change. Definitely people have the tendency to change, but they have to want to address the problem. And I think that, considering that Decatur did this way back in 2015, and it's been going on since then, and his friends knew from back then that he was doing that, it's kind of a hard situation to pretty much look past, because it's like, they knew what was going on. At least for one situation or another, they knew what was going on. They knew Decatur was being weird, and even Mo said that, you know, Decatur just creeped everyone out. Even some of the girls in the group, like Sacred Fighting's girlfriend, even Kristen, some of them were saying that, you know, Decatur was just weird. So, and they made them feel uncomfortable. And I guess, you know, that should have been a clue to say, well, something's sus about him. But yeah, it's just a very fucked up situation, because I looked up TheKingNappy for such a long time, and I mean, you look at all the instant parties in all of this. You know, you got Shady Penguin, you got JYT Gamer, you got Sacred Fire Nick, you got Gayboy Luke, you got Hullum Scrafty, A Drive, Nexus, TheHeatedMo. There are a lot of good Pokemon content creators out there, so the fact this is all happening to, I would say, one of the most notorious groups of Pokemon content creators definitely doesn't bode well for us, because it makes us all look bad. But my thing is that, you know, all we could do as a community is try to band together, is all I'm saying, is that we try to band together. You know, we have to try to stick together, because the Pokemon community is a great community. There are a lot of good people out there who make good content. You know, I think I make good content, but I mean, that's for you guys to judge, not for me to pretty much be a humble brag and say like, oh, I make the best content. Because if I had the best content, you know, I'd be out there. But guess what? I'm not. So, you know, I just have to try to work harder to become a better person. And I would recommend that to anyone. And I would hope that people don't come out Pokemon content creators in such a negative way because of this incident. I know that Drama Alert at the moment is trying to get together a story for TheKingNappy now. Apparently he tweeted out, you know, anyone got drama with him, so he's pretty much going to be addressing it. And I mean, if you guys have any clips from Nappy's video from Twitch, because I mean, fuck, it was up for like 5-10 minutes and he literally removed it. So I don't know, guys, it's a weird situation, because I've been watching this guy for years. I've enjoyed watching him doing, you know, Pokemon content, doing Twitch content with Mario Kart with all his friends, and sadly, it's sad to see how much of a disconnect there was in the group, even though they all used to hang out all together. You know, there was just so much bullshit that was happening in the background, and I guess much like TV actors and all that, like, I mean, you hear about controversy all the time with actors, you know, like Kevin Spacey, you know, with his bullshit, you know, Bill Cosby with his bullshit, like, you know, it's just so, like, you'd be surprised at what you don't know about someone just from what is in front of the camera. Because someone that could be in front of the camera and someone that can step off the camera can be completely different people. And in this case, I guess we've seen that in full essence. That, you know, there are a lot of people that do change once they go off camera. And, I mean, I hope I don't. I mean, I don't appear to change. I'm the same genuine guy that I am with you guys as I am in people. If people walk on the street and say, hey, Sharpino, how you going? I'm just like, hey, dude, what's up? That I don't do anything that would kind of not really endanger myself, but I mean, like, you just have to be a decent human being. Some of the things that's happened in this video from these people like Decatur and TheKingNappy are not human things to do. They're not humane. The way they go about, you know, they're saying that, you know, Decatur used to pressure girls. And it's like, for what reason? Because he wanted to get off on some child pornography? Like, dude, fuck off. TheKingNappy, you know, trying to pretty much keep the group in check, and apparently from what Mo said, if things weren't done his way, it'd be the highway, and it's like, you can't be like that. You can't always control everything, you know? There are some things you can control, and there are some things you can't control. The one thing you can't control is people's free will. And the day you try to take control of someone's free will, people find out, they know that you're a control freak, it's fucked. And I'm sad doing this because I've looked up TheKingNappy for such a long time, and, you know, what can I say? Like, I think most of us have. I mean, he's got over 500,000 subscribers. That might be subject to change really soon, you know. But by and large, I mean, even the people he's associated with, you know, like Mo, Nexus, JY to Gamer, Twit, you know, all them, they're going to be affected by it too. It's a ripple effect. It's from one. It's like the base of the foundation of a pyramid. Once it breaks, the rest of it comes down. And I think because the Nappy has been so heavily involved in pretty much everyone in this group. Not saying that all of them are going to fall, but I mean, you know, it's like, I don't know what to say, guys. Like, I'll try to do my part to try to keep the morale of the Pokemon community high. Like, I do my Pokemon content, and I mean, you know, if you guys want to, you know, check out my channel, you can. I'm not saying you have to, but, you know, any support that can be brought towards my channel is greatly appreciated. Like, that's not a plug or anything. That's just me being honest with you guys. Like, look, I'm covering this to spread awareness first off for abuse, because I don't think abuse in any shape or form is acceptable and should not be tolerated. And you should talk to someone if you are experiencing any form of abuse. Any form of abuse, you should be reporting it right away. I don't think that you should be trying to control people and try to tell people who they should be friends with, who they should talk to, what they should do in their spare time. You shouldn't do that. And if you know someone is doing something so legally or so humanly fucked up, you should call them out on it. Don't say fix it up. Fuck off. Like, cut your ties with that person because you know they're a very toxic person. Decada is a very toxic person. That's case in point. I think that's what it is. And I mean, TheKingNappy, because he's gone that intertwined with that many people on YouTube, you know, it's just such a big hit for the Pokemon community because he is one of the faces of the Pokemon community, or a big face, should I say, because, you know, when you think of Pokemon content, you know, you think TheKingNappy, you think, you know, Nexus, you think TheHeatedMo, you think Game Boy Luke, you think, there's all these names that float about that you can think of that, you know, when you think Pokemon content, that's what you go towards, it's that. But now it's I don't know, like, I can only hope that people will stay positive about Pokemon. I mean, we've got plenty of things to look forward to. We've got Sword and Shield coming up later in this year, so hopefully you guys will enjoy that game. I mean, I'm sure I'll enjoy that game. I'll be trying to let's play it on my channel once I get a Switch and everything set up, so that'll be sweet. But by and large, I guess all I can say is I'm very disappointed in some of the people I used to watch, like, you know, TheKingNappy. I can't believe what you've done, and sorry to say, dude, but you've lost my support, and it's very hard because you've been one person I've watched pretty much a lot of the time, and then for this shit to happen, like, dude, I don't know what to say, dude. Like, you've been a very positive influence, or at least I thought you were a positive influence in my life, but apparently off screen you're a completely different person. And I don't know what to say. Like, you know, I don't have to live with it. You have to live with it now, Nappy/Kyle. You have to live with the burden of your choices and how you behaved. Now, I'm not saying that you can't win my support back. I mean, you would have to make one hell of a video, one hell of a defense to back up what everyone is saying against you. But if you can come out, acknowledge you fucked up, apologize, and try to work your way back to where you were, then maybe I might come back to you. But as far as right now, dude, I'm sorry, but yeah, dude, I don't know, just, you lost my support in this part of it. So, you know, hopefully you guys are aware of what's going on, you're aware of why I stand on this, and I don't know, dude. All I can do is try to stay, and I always say in more videos, is just to stay safe, stay sharp, stay positive, I guess, because it is a bit of a hard time for all of us Pokemon content creators right now. You got a lot of people saying they want to stop doing Pokemon content because of this, which I think is stupid. I mean, you shouldn't stop doing Pokemon content because one person in the community fucked up. I mean, by that logic, fuck, Versafy would give us enough reason to fucking stop being a Pokemon content creator, you know. But you know, I just think it's a very dark time at the moment for Pokemon communities, and I guess all I can do, like some of the Pokemon content creators who are passionate about doing this, is try to shine a light on those who are either in the dark about these situations or in the dark about, you know, not feeling good about Pokemon and all that. All I can do, and all we can do as a community, is try to band together and stay strong, is all I can say. So, I mean, if you guys want to, like, leave a comment down below, if you guys want to talk about anything, I mean, I'm open for it. I mean, you can follow me on Twitter, you can talk to me in the comments section, I'll talk to some people in the chat. You know, but all I can say is Pokemon is a great thing. I don't think it's a bad thing. Maybe if what some people have become because of it, I don't know. But yeah, dude, like, you know, TheKingNappy, dude, you're either gonna have to clean up your act, acknowledge your fuck ups and fix yourself up, or if you don't, well then your career on YouTube, I believe, is over. I believe that All of this is enough. And if you are someone who will support TheKingNappy even after all of this has been put out there, then I question what your motives are. I question what your mental state is, because if you look at all the evidence against Nappy in the face of the light, in the face of evidence, and think, no, I'll still support him, then I really question your mentality, because this is just fucked up. It's so fucked up. But I'll just try to sit back, rest the day. I'll try to do some more videos and all that later on. We'll see how we go. But just wanted to voice my opinion on this, just because, I mean, the Decatur thing kind of got me rolled up, pent up, because I was like, fuck this cunt for this bullshit. And then I find out more shit's happening, and then this thing with TheKingNappy's happening, and it's just like, I think I have to say something. Not that I have to, but I wanted to say something about it. So, you know, keep in mind, this is all the things except for what's out there is my opinion. I'm not saying this is the 100% truth. And all the TheKingNappy fans that want to dislike my video because I'm shitting on him, mate, be my guest. If you want to dislike this video because I'm no longer a Nappy fan because of this, be my fucking guest. Bring on the hate. I don't give a fuck. Because you can hate me all you want, but you can't undo what the TheKingNappy did to these people. And that, my friends, is fucked up.